Hello, Christina here with Primal Coding, and today we're going to talk about the volumes of the breath, or the areas in which we can explore. So the breath is broken down into, first, the total lung volume. So that includes the residual volume that kind of stays there so our lungs don't stick together. The tidal volume, which is the volume of breathing in this moment. The tidal volume is what we naturally breathe unconsciously. And then we have the inhale volume. Every time I take an inhale, pause and then exhale and let the air fall out, we're working with the inhale volume. When we exhale, when we sneeze, when we cough, when we laugh, and the inhale just kind of happens, that's the exhale volume. And all of these added together equal total volume, but the areas that which we can have some sort of control over or awareness of is called the vital capacity. So the inhale volume, the tidal volume, and the exhale volume. Now if this is the breathing rate, we can just breathe into the tidal volume. We can just inhale and work with the tidal and inhale volume, or just the exhale volume. And each of these areas has their own power, their own strength, their own magic. So when I train the exhale volume, I'm training my ability to recruit my core. That knowing that my exhale is connected to my abs, to my pelvic floor, takes time. And it needs to be broken down into parts. So the exhale volume is the cannon breath, the core activation breath, hissing or humming to lengthen the exhale. Anything that you're going to be feeling that engagement into the spine, even the rib cage. When I inhale and then exhale, relax, that's the inhale volume. But from this natural tidal volume, I can still exhale and engage my rib cage in a little further. And so that just shows you for the exhale, I can work with the exhale volume of my belly. I can work with the exhale volume of my rib cage. And observing the tidal volume, or the tidal volume is the space of observation that you see in just really soft, calm meditations. The inhale volume would be used just to kind of expand and to notice. We can increase our CO2 levels, help us to be more focused and more heightened in our awareness. The inhale volume is also a volume that people who have high blood pressure, a tendency for that, anxiety maybe, and their nervous system feels a little heightened. I would definitely not focus on the inhale volume, but focusing on the exhale volume. And those are just some of the things that I work with my students. And I use this framework in these areas, and then aspects of their personality, or just watching them breathe and notice which spaces they may need to be more aware of or become conscious of. And each of these areas are also aspects of ourselves, of our personality, and can affect the way we react or act upon the world and our reality. So there's also different knobs that we can use to control the breath in certain areas. So I can work with the exhale volume and control the speed of my breath. I can exhale slowly, letting the air fall in, or I can exhale quickly, recruiting kind of the same muscle fibers, but with more force and a little bit quicker, right? So that's another thing, we can work with force. Our ability to produce force with our exhale and really use the core to do that. This creates a pump. And this is also the foundation of our physical strength. This is the root of the planter, of the tree that we are, the plant that we are, whatever you'd like to be. So when we work with force, you learn to create a spectrum of force. And again, all of this is working with spectrums and polarities. That's what I look for, the blind spots in completing the spectrum for clients. And really giving them that whole sense of self, which usually then reflects in a healing of sorts. And then volume. In 4 seconds, am I inhaling a big amount of air? Or in 4 seconds, am I just softly inhaling, right? So we can control the volume, speed, force. These are just some of the knobs that we can turn to produce different outcomes. And if you look at a lot of breathing methods, you'll be able to break down what they're focusing on based on these spaces, right? So if I'm doing a more sympathetic breath, Wim Hof, rebirthing, this is going to look a lot shorter. It's just going to go here, here. There's no space in between. There's no pauses between, right? If I'm doing a really slow, soft observation of breath, it's going to be working with the tidal volume. Okay, so as you can see, there's a lot of depth to what we can explore in the breath. And with primal coding, I just want to lay down the principles so that you can have some awareness in your exploration, so you don't feel lost that often. You should feel a little lost. It's probably good for you. Because we're never really lost. But that's another video. Anyway, so I want you to ask yourself, what have you explored? Based on the exercises or the breath that you have explored, what areas have you explored? Have you explored any of these knobs here, speed, volume, and force? And try to start to uncover the map of the aspects of self that you have currently awareness of. And then ask yourself, what are my blind spots? And when you ask yourself those questions, a lot of things can happen. So, yeah, thank you for joining me today, and I will see you next time, and have a good day.